Hey folks, and welcome back to Kentucky Hot Wheels video series. If you know what this is, you probably know what I'm getting ready to do, especially if you see this term right here, AGM battery. If you remember or watched the previous videos, a few weeks ago I did a fender chop on the Gladiator, put new wheel liners in, the whole works. And of course, as luck would have it, about a week and a half later, my auxiliary battery light, stop and start light, come on in the Gladiator, which means my auxiliary battery is dead or won't hold a charge. Now, I don't use the stop start feature. I have it turned off with the taser, so it remembers the setting that I had. So I don't use that feature, but the battery is used for other things as well. So if you have a late model Wrangler or Gladiator, you know what I'm getting ready to do. I'm not going to go in great detail about how I do it because there's a ton of videos floating around where people have already done it. However, I am not going to remove the main battery and the fuse box and all that stuff. I'm going to do it through the fender well. And since I put these Wolfstorm fender liners in, they're easy to take off. I've only got 2 bolts here, 1 bolt here, and a Christmas tree clip up front, which I shouldn't have to undo. So I should be able just to undo these bolts here, and it should drop down. And your box for the auxiliary batteries, that's right back here. So that's probably what I'm going to get into tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not going to get too detailed about it because there's videos already floating around from people who've already done it. But same thing I did with the fenders and stuff, I'll highlight any issues I run into to give you an idea of what you should expect if you do it this way. So I guess we'll wait till tomorrow and we'll get into it, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and get the battery prepped. This is a dry battery, so we'll have to add the electrolytes to it. Should be pretty straightforward. Basically what we're going to do is dump this into here. Now of course you want to take every safety precaution, wear some safety glasses, read the instructions. This will go on the battery once everything's in place. I've done this before, but let me just take a quick peek at the instructions. Okay, so of course we want to remove this. And basically all we're going to do is push this down on these and let it drain. It will take a while. Once the electrolytes are placed inside the battery, we'll cap the battery with this piece right here, and we should be ready to go. So we'll let that set and do its thing, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, once the electrolyte has been added to the battery, we'll remove this container the same way we put it on. Again, be careful. You don't want to get any of this into your eyes. And you want to do this in a well-ventilated area as well. And then all we need to do is place the cap on the battery. Might be a little tough. If you want your little rubber mallet, which I do have over here somewhere, And just tap it easily in place. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now we'll put this on a battery tender. And you shouldn't have to, but you can if you want to. Set on a battery tender overnight just to make sure it's good and charged when we go to put it in. But as far as prepping the battery, that's all you have to do. Again, be careful, wear eye protection, and do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay, I'll bring it back when we're ready for the next step. All right, so it's time to get this battery replaced. Like I said, this would have been a whole lot easier a few weeks ago when I put these wheel liners in and had the fender off. But what I'm going to try to do, I'm not going to go through the top. I'm going to take this liner back out, and the battery actually sits in behind here. So all I should have to do is take these two screws out right here, and then I have one up here. But what I'm going to try to do, if I can take these two out here, this is a two-piece liner, so I might be able to take these two out here and just take the back part off and not have to worry about the front. I don't know. I'll see once I get these off. These were the hardest ones to put on when I installed it, but yeah, it is what it is. So let me get this out and I'll bring it back and show you where the battery box is and what we're going to do. Hopefully you can see here. One thing I do need to do is disconnect the positive side of the battery because you know it does run down to the auxiliary battery, and we don't want anything grounding out. So we'll remove the positive side here and prop it up out of the way so we have no chance of anything grounding out. We get something to put under that, then we'll start taking the liner out. All right, so hopefully you can see I've already got the liner down. All they did was take the two bolts out the bottom, one at the top, and it just laid down. I didn't have to take my Christmas tree rivet out. So this is the battery box right here, and it's got three 10mm bolts that we need to take out. Two back here and then one here in the middle. So I'll go ahead and get them taken out, and I'll bring you back and show you what everything looks like. But that should be fairly easy to get to. I hope so anyhow. So I'll bring you back in just a bit. All right, as you can see, I've got the battery out and dangling here. I just need to take the, use a 10mm to get these nuts off and get it completely out. I put this piece of wood up here just to kind of hold it in place. I really didn't need to, but might be a little bit of a challenge. It's not a heavy battery, but it might be a challenge to get back in there. So I may have to have some help with the wife with that, but we'll see when we get there. But it's out. I'm probably 15 minutes into the whole process here, so I'll bring you back when we're ready to move to the next step. Okay, as you can see, I've got the old battery out. I want to try to reuse these posts, but if I can't, the new battery came with everything I should need to get it installed. But the process so far hasn't been terribly hard. I'm about 25 minutes into the whole thing. So I'll get this battery prepped and install it in the reverse order, and I'll bring you back at the next step. Okay, hopefully you can see what I've done here. I got the new battery in the box and the terminal's tightened down. With the tire on, it's a little awkward to get back up in there. So I put this 4x4 on my floor jack, and I'm just going to slowly lift it up in there and get the screws in and tighten everything up. And then once that's done, I'll go ahead and put the liner back in. We'll give her a test and see how everything's going. But, you know, not terribly hard. Okay, I'll bring it back when I'm done. Okay, as you can see, the battery's back in. All three bolts are back in. I'm going to go ahead and hook the battery back up here and give everything a test. If it works out okay, I'll go ahead and put the fender liner back in, and we'll call this project done. Like I said, I'm probably about 45 minutes, maybe an hour into the whole thing. No big deal if you have the removable wheel liners. Okay, I'll let you know how everything goes. All right, as you can see, I got everything buttoned back up. No problem there. It was a blessing to have this wheel liner in, even though this would have been easier to do when I put the wheel liner in the first time. It was still a lot easier to take this loose, drop it down, take the battery out. If this is something you're going to do, it would be better to have a couple extra hands to help you get the battery back in there, but you know, like I showed you earlier, you can use the Ford jack as well. Everything went back together, no issues. I've got the battery hooked back up, and I'm so confident I even closed the hood. So let's get in here and start her up and see if the stop start light goes off. All right, no stop start light. We're good to go. If y'all have any questions concerning this or need additional input, feel free to let me know. Please comment and subscribe. We'd certainly appreciate it. And be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later.